Famous has had some good performances, so that chamber is incredibly important. He plays a lot of different stuff. You typically see Flipside being on that sentinel role.
Victor, we know he was the one that really revolutionized the movement on Neon, for example. This man will be mobile. This man will understand where he needs to pick and prod across the map. And when you start on attack, this man must be your entry. He must get you in and get that space.
Domestically.
It's a toughie to face off against you in your first international match, but we'll see what they come into here. That's Victor dashing into the wall to start things off. Bit of an advantage for him. He's not going to be able to cross up any of the crosshair placement, but Spike going to start to get planted now. Players ready and waiting. A swing out to the back of the side. That's Tabottle. The first one's going to be traded, but the flank being caught there. Blaze King was looking for opportunities, just pushing through. OpTic seemingly just cleaning up the stragglers wherever possible.
And FNS staying alive and dealing with that flank allows the Viper wall to still come back up. So this is looking like a great position to play from.
Teleport's ready.
Good crossfire setup as well to be able to deal with somebody like Famous, but they've broken it to some degree. Having said this, Marved is still on the flank through double doors, and he cleans things up.
Does seem to be his playground, as you've already mentioned, but looks like nothing out of the ordinary, honestly. Almost the exact same scenes that we've witnessed from before. You can see the snakebite goes over the top. That's going to clear that one side. The cloudburst as well to cut up a lot of the angles in case they're holding close with the better weaponry. That should be an easy fight to take. Indeed, the players kind of just dropping like flies at this point. Too much more to work with, including that spike planted down with a bit of extra cash in the back pocket. But time now to talk as well.
Hammering this A exec, but on the bonus round, starting to take things towards B. And just bursting in.
Yeah.
Marv building up the null command so early.
Massive ultimate to just try and expend and get right in there, but Famous has already removed two of them in this crossfire setup again. See, Berserk's just holding that one angle. Make sure that they just mow them all down with the rifles in their hands.
Enemy remaining.
And easily done, there you go. A bit of confidence back. You can hear them screaming across the stadium.
The rest of his team. And now all 5 OpTic players bunched up on A. But without that mid control, Boomer reluctant to stack the A site. They're still playing a very spread defense.
Now just opting to try and go for a bit of a contact play. That was just spam. Right through the wall, flash over the top as well. Doesn't quite connect. Someone needs to deal with a dart though. Pushing in between the pyramids. That's Victor. He's claiming these kills. A couple of shockies coming in. Dangerous situation. Dropping a couple of the players down very low. In fact, look at that. Warbang kill straight to the cranium. Famous claims another.
And he got a 3v3 with Victor again, going for the reflank. Good trade by Famous, who's now the sole chamber on the board. And they are worried about that mid flank. Victor is going for it.
Yeah,
he's dead to a single Vandal bullet.
Wall going down, though, that opens him up to a couple more angles. And you're right, Victor, he is low. And now the pressure's on him, honestly, to get stuff done here. But it's not really being watched. Holding it, patience, the discipline.
Not going for it.
Within the shots, though, how funny, he was just holding it. All the way up here. Getting the work done, but now guns in the hand of the OpTic players, not wasting any time, but a bit of miscoordination. Now it's a flash actually just offset Victor's dash. Again, dropping down the smokes. Now you start to see that Hunter's Fury. That's trying to push them back onto the stairs. It's a classic play. You see this one often now on Breeze. It creates enough space that OpTic are going to be capitalizing and taking back of the A site.
Yeah, extremely good execute. Blaze King, though, with one of his kills. Now has the Hunter's Fury online of his own. Ooh. And he does catch somebody. Crashies goes down. Leaves this in a 2v3 with Ye still planting. Perhaps another kill could be found.
Spike planted.
The idea was at the back of OpTic's head to try and bait out that ult, but like you said, Josh has left it now into this 2v3 and this slight angle that Victor's playing in right now with the wall up in his face. A little bit inoptimal. He's just trying to take these fights, and the timings obviously doesn't want to peek his head over, but now the wall falls, and there we go. Time to strike.
And that's a very nice kills. The site anchors struggling to hold on to some degree from Boom.
You want to play? Let's play.
That's an aggressive play from Famous, honestly just running straight down into elbow. Utility to try and supplement it, but...
And Boom have got a flank coming out of cave here, but that's a great kill. Flip side of the IGL rips the head off Ye, stops him from getting value, and that deactivates the trademark. Look at these players on the flank.
Push all the way up.
Fast.
Yeah, not wasting any time at all. Taking liberties, taking space, taking the fights, taking every single duel at their disposal, and that's a spike drop down. What was looking like a dire start to the round. managed to turn this one around. The confidence that we've seen time and time again from a lot of these APAC teams, but Victor wants to, again, answer back.
Does
Obviously,
he realize the Viper's here?
Smokes off one of the angles. Everything about the timing, and it's the bottle, again, who comes out on top.
Crashies to deliver. He's nasty in the clutch, though.
Baited out one of the positionings. Now he knows where the player is. Flash off to the side. Doesn't quite catch onto his face. Oh, another little swing, but luckily the trade is there at the end of the day, and now we're going to be steadily taking a lead here.
You can see how they're using this utility OpTic to stop any mid-aggression, but that's not really the area of the map that Boom are playing for.
And this trademark was placed early on in the Viper's pit. And the peace of mind that it gives, I mean, they've only...
Seems doable.
You might be about to start to see this explosion onto the side there. The dart into the back. That was shot from the backside of Pyramid. They know there's a player there from default, but the utility being used. A nice reset of the aim there, BlazeKing. Almost whiffing that one, but managed to correct the aim and still berserks. At the back of the site, locking this one down, anchoring it. Slight jiggle of the movement. Yay, though. He's going to be claiming another one for the record. He's going to be able to deal with the bottle just about. Narrowly done. Just down to crashies now, and he is being swarmed from every single angle, and there it is. Too much to overcome.
They assume that the choke point is just free.
But you're now looking at this upcoming round right here. One of the most impactful ones of this first half, I think, because this goes wrong for OpTic. It's having different takes, and you can see the mid-aggression. Little flash play around the corner. It's crashies dealt with easily enough. FNS now is going to be facing two of these players who are still locking down that one angle. Flip side are having an absolute field day. And again, the duel's just being taken, the duel's being won out. It's up to Victor to try and make the most of it, but now just Ye left alive. Operator in his hands. Against three opponents. Very difficult task, but he's pulled off even stranger things.
I think this one might be a bit too tough. The crossfire just looks so good.
And that is just a bit of running.
Oh, that's just disrespectful as well.
And at this point, Josh, honestly,
one player in mid. Normally there's multiple. You can't get away with that with the way that OpTic have been playing their attack sides. But the adjustment is perfectly timed.
Mind games on mind games, isn't it?
Yeah. And Flipsider is currently out IGLing one of the best in the game.
Here we go. It's going to be a B-split though with a null command. BlazeKing caught unaware with a Hunter's Fury as well to try and supplement it. Still holding that one angle. It is Victor though who takes him out. So two players at Boom remaining, and look at the respect that's being showcased here. Even a Viper's Pit being committed.
Spike planted.
OpTic haven't even been able to get into a post plant since FNS has had his ult online. So this is almost the first opportunity he's had to use it. And I think in a 4v2 here, seems reasonable to me. You need to start getting these rounds on.
Player standing.
At this point, so you're going to need something a little bit special there. Players just bounding into the walls one after the other. You have to try and trade this one though. Bit of ADS, luckily FNS is there. So a couple of upgrades
That's
necessary.
what Boom are doing. And now Boom have some really good ults to play around. Viper's Pit over in A main. They've got Flipsider with a null command as well to shut down this push as it comes in.
This is presence being shown now into double doors. So just going to be flooding into that A side, making sure that they take the backside of the control rendezvous away. BlazeKing just not quite aware of this one still. The angles, that long sight line, watched the rendezvous to get back into the action.
And now
it's going to start to go down now.
Now you've got the null command for Flipsider. He chose not to use it on a mid push, and so he pops it now for the retake. And these OpTic players are getting crunched, and they're about to lose Hall's control as well if Berserks looks to the left.
I mean, this is pretty excellent stuff from FNS so far. He's going to get caught out, but yeah, again, that Hall's control that Ye was using. Flipsider hasn't been able to get just even any semblance of control to the back of the site because he's dealing with so many of these targets. But now they're fully aware of where each other is. At least the reposition now comes through. The tour de force out in the hands of Ye should be favored in this one. It's blinded for him, and Flipsider, he just takes him out.
What a 1v1 for Flipsider to win.
Yeah.
There's only 30 seconds, and OpTic are committing now.
You push past this wall, you have to be so careful. But there we go, it's a flash play to try and make it work. But it's OpTic who are the ones who are ready for it with 25 seconds left. No more time really to make any more mistakes. That's a pushed up position there from BlazeKing. Do they expect this one? It has to be the plan coming through. Is this going to be forcing anything out of them? Pure patience so far from OpTic. The spike does go down. Dart close, that's going to be forcing a bit of a wraparound now. BlazeKing forced to take this fight out. Crashies will win it out with the Ghost. Just up to Flipsider. But again, that discipline. Yeah, just not overstepping himself through main, and even when he does, he knows If he fails, the teammate's going to be picking up the pieces.
Hunter wallbang headshot there. And that did so much damage.
It's going to be put in a bit of a squeeze now as well. He's going to be rotating positioning. The wall's still going up. Has to dash to the side there. Victor, he is still so low.
Look at this cheeky little pocket that FNS is playing inside of. He loves doing this. He's got a couple of different Viper walls that allow him to play in strange areas.
And his teammate's there to back him up as well, even once he's done the damage, eventually cleaned up, but that crossfire setup just far too strong.
Vitality, even if you go on a bit of a losing streak.
Yeah.
Being able to win the anti-bonus here for Boom would be very important, but they start out at a deficit.
Yeah, and trying to keep that lead going is sometimes one of the more difficult things when you're up against a team like OpTic with the experience under their belts. They've been in situations like this before, and they are handling every single opportunity and gap there. Okay.
I'll tell you what, that rendezvous is not very good anymore. The one that Ye is using, he had to extend himself pretty heavily.
Really wide in that angle.
The rendezvous range going down, making that a much riskier play. But he got his and got out.
Victor's just been watching for that one. Okay, the trade is eventually there. In fact, as well, watching for these pushes out. That's Marv going to be at least fallen back. Has to spectate the rest of his team now from the bench.
Yeah, Victor and Marv playing to overflank to try and find these players in mid and take the duels against them.
Just create openings.
It has created an opening, a big old gap on A. And in the retake, you're wondering whether OpTic are going to be able to retrieve maybe some guns, some vandals from somewhere. It looks like Ye's going to make his way towards one, just making sure that the place is clear before he grabs Vandal and upgrades from the Marshal.
Yeah.
But they have no idea where Blaze King and Tabotel are.
A decent amount of clearing being done by the Boom players, so watching around. Main, you can see Ye wants to just at least hold that angle for the time being, and now you're going to start to see them take a bit more space, pushing up to double doors and squeezing. It's a dart. It's going to go against the pyramid with Model. Everything on that fight that he just took, and he does win it out. With FNS down, this becomes more than winnable. In fact, look at that. Bit of Viper's Pit placing does with the dart a little bit. It has revealed his positioning. He needs a bit of help. This Viper's Pit honestly doesn't quite help him. Tabolo's going to have to swing into this one to try and secure it. But half of the diffuser stuck down, and trust in their teammates. That's OpTic winning out the round.
Top of that wall in mid so that he had a sight line. So certainly a set play post-plant. And now Boom make their way towards halls.
Crashes with the off.
That's unusual, isn't it? You don't see this very often.
Probably because Ye's got his tour de force, but it allows him to watch down halls with a great amount of accuracy. Still taken out. Eventually, that's going to be that trade. As famous as opting into the operator himself.
And this is an awkward position for Ye right now. He's stuck at double doors, worried whether somebody could be flanking him from mid, and FNS is the only player ready to support.
Timing is everything here with a snakebite coming through, and there are fights kicking off all over the bloody map. He does take down Blaze King. Spike has been dropped down, and Victor's also just trying to get this flank going. That's okay, the trade mark, dash to the side! Oh, the readjustment, the slight readjustment of the movement.
What an outplay!
Still, they have to deal with berserks from on high. And Tabottle, guys looking around aimlessly, needs to just handle so many targets. Just coming his way, not enough really. The positioning, he was just out in the open, a sitting duck. Here we go, play being made here with an old man popped off. Even the drone that gets info, push them off of that angle as well. Holding on top of bricks, already taking the back of the side control. We'll see if there's that extra layer of it. A bit of spam back and forth with the Vandals. The positioning is known. Hunter's Fury cuts across there. Is there going to be sort of anything to capitalize? It's a lot of damage at the end of the day, and even the Viper's Pit, it does give them the space to lay that one down.
And I think that's the extra layer that they were really missing. You got that ult from Blaze King that pushes forwards and attacks.
Critically as well, they finally get that round on the board.
I gotta say, I wasn't expecting crashies to be set up too, with Ye working his tour de force by elbow. Neither of them on A though.
The game, it's gonna be that standard play that just comes through. The flash did not quite connect from Marv, but still the gunplay is precise. So it's going to be removed. That's going to be the Blade Storm as well from Victor, just offloaded, and that target, again, critical information. Lights them all up. They're aware that the Boom players are trying to work their way through, but look at Tabottle. Guy's an absolute maniac just in the middle of the pyramids. He's doing all sorts of damage.
How did he get 2 kills there? Just running rings around the OpTic players.
Live.
And this is a rough retake for Victor with the op. At least Ye has the Vandal he can still work with. But for Victor with the Blade Storm already expended, this is going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
And it feels like Boom have found that extra little piece to the puzzle. the little bit of aggression that they need to stop the OpTic players being comfortable in the retake.
Reflank from Famous. Great timing on that one. Still have to deal with Yado at the back of the site, but it's a difficult one because look what's coming. Straight for that spike. Shock darts laid down, and even if the shots didn't quite land there from Blaziken, still would have been a 1 round. That's going to be even.
And it's that deadly duo of Ye and Marv too.
In theory, it should set him up quite nicely. With the Viper wall drop down though, you can see the smokes being used to try and, again, block off the areas, even a deeper flash just to try and make the most of it, but Ye was just holding that one angle down. With the operator in his hand, it is going to be that return. A fire from across the map, the Hunter's Fury, again, lets it rip. And it supplements it one after the other. The OpTic Gaming guys, these players finding countless opportunities, more than ready for the push that was coming their way.
One enemy remaining.
That angle just not quite being watched. Not quite being watched at all. That's Ye running away with it. Cautious of the push that comes through.
Little fake.
Yeah, the drone to try and fake that this could be the A push, but the spike is going in a completely different direction. This is risky though.
Unfortunately, the drone got cancelled so early that the boom guys are not ready to go for the B hit.
Yeah, they really had no space prior to this one as well. It wasn't like they were ready for the setup, but still now going to be starting to work their way in again. The dash up close and personal, but Ye still not being dealt with, but the pre-aim. Crosshair placement not quite exactly where it needed to be, and guess what? Blazeking's also just going to be late lurking over towards the A side. He's pulled Victor and making sure that he has to deal with him. Spike is going to get planted though. It's a fight on 2 fronts. This battle that takes place, Victor is just going to be evacuating now and trying to play with the retake with the rest of his team. And this late lurk from Blaziken is going to be so important.
If crashies is able to deal with Berserks, that would be an opener at the least.
Time is of the essence, isn't it?
And he doesn't have a drone, doesn't have a recon dart. They're just going to have to walk into the bottles. Viper's Pit, he's all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, that just rebounded right off his body, I'm pretty sure. Quick tap onto the spike. Bottle clears it. Nobody's on this one still. Another round of things, just trying to get half onto it. The bottle gets 2! One after the other. Lined up for him, and now time. Ah, it's just not on their side, is it? Not in the slightest. It's going to be 11-11.
When you get these rounds going back and forth like this, the economy is going to be good for the rest of the map.
Don't go there. Don't go there. But a deep play from OpTic now, taking that mid-control again. In fact, pushing up into elbow, but this time Famous. He does look down the angle. Should be favored in that one every day of the week.
Oh, and Victor's going to run out of his dash here, just as the rest of the boom players start coming back into mid.
Super risky, but he feels like he needs to take the fights anyway. Right into their spawn, punished at the end of the day, and that's 2 players down now for OpTic. This is
just gathering up, making sure that they get everybody in position, ready to take this 5v3.
It's cautious enough at the end of the day. Angle watch though, and Berserk was so low that he's an easy target once more. Crashies needs to be dealt with, and Blaziken finally will grab that kill, traded it out, up, down. OpTic in these rounds as well.
Yeah, it's respect, but they're not afraid to challenge when it's an even situation. But when they're up, they know all map that I don't think is going to end up paying off. This one, they're going back into the trademark, back into Ye, back into Crashies with a recon dart online. They have 20 seconds left.
And that's that recon over the top of the trademark as well. It's collected it. Still, it's going to get traded, but they have to deal with Crashies at the back of the site. And this guy is a nuisance. A thorn in their sides with the spray down. Blaziken is dealt with. At least the spike's in play, but 3 on board. And the 4th, well, he's looking for it. Famous. Now one angle, the operator doesn't quite get the reset. In fact, Crashies, he's going to be offloading that. The Hunter's Fury, they're pushing him up into the angle. It's a sound flash. It is chaos and pandemonium. But it gets the job done. That's OpTic. They do bring it to that OT. You've got to be thinking of this one. So many opportunities. OpTic were hoping for a bit of prior conditioning with this one. When they've done this typically, it has been that mid-control. You can see the drone was used a bit earlier, but now with the walls coming up, good timing with the knife.
Yeah.
It's going to be suppressing a bunch of the targets and stopping this push that actually comes through, but now they're contacting through.
I do not think Total's going to realize that they're this deep.
And it comes down to this opening engagement, this first fight. Tobottle is being pressured so heavily. Suppressed as well, but that dart as well, it broke the crosshair placement and nobody is watching for it. A flash over the forwards and that backside control that was trying to be taken, and what a flick of the wrist. The 1-2 combo. Tobottle will not be removed from his perch.
Ball can't go up. No drone potential. And you know the tip of the spear is there, so it's not a fake.
Angle has caught him out before, Victor. The dash enabled, nothing to stop him. And still Marved. He's making all sorts of plays. Another pop flash to the wall, doesn't want to overstep himself. In fact, it's going to be the repeat, but the timing. Oh, it comes through.
Full blind. And the rest of Boom reluctant to commit through this choke point.
Just left standing stationary. The OpTic player is now going to start to squeeze. Spike drop down. They know where Famous's position is. I've just about misses, but he's working with only 100 health. Not ideal weapon for the clutch.
Oh, and that's just the worst way to go. Prime gaming
through into this Viper's orb. They have got so much space off of this alone, and already the fight being taken, but still, we're not expecting this to bottle at the back of yellow. 1-2, why not? Wants to make it the third. Slightly dodging these shot darts that are coming his way. A lot of damage being done to him, brought down to just 45 health, but he has done a significant amount of work, enough to potentially OpTic think twice about this one. See that shot, recon dart getting broken late, that's going to be revealing a lot of the positioning, but the spike is right out into the open, and still OpTic are getting these kills, one after the other. Drops down right to the side of yellow, the door opening up, Ye watches the back of it, and another one's found. That's OpTic salvaging the situation, salvaging the round. All sorts of information, he's not hearing a thing at this point.
No, and that's why there's 3 players on B. It's the right read for OpTic again.
Push coming through, that's going to be a little flash into the back that forces the rendezvous out of him, including that dart onto the backside of things. Crashies though, and Ye still dealing with this onslaught. It's making their way across, and it's up to Famous to see if he can do the damage to bring them back against it. A slight jiggle with the movement, but not enough again. The shots are found, and Ye, this guy, is just dominating the battlefield. To bottle and flip side are the 2 players left standing against 4 from OpTic, and they've slowed it down with the discipline. Well drilled. That's what the OpTic players are. The angle's being watched. Tabolo, though, he does not expect it's crashies. Still holding it to the side. How are Boom salvaging this?
Oh, another incredible play from the Viper. He gets down the pit as well. Marved just snuck his way in. Didn't get an angle.
The fuse half already. The damage is done to Bottle. What a maniac.
Some players, they just step up at LAN. And it's our third OT. We're going back into it. I mean, we're 10 seconds in already. FNS doesn't realize they're this deep. He's just going to walk straight into him.
And across their placement, the patience. Ready and waiting. Why not? Easy. One after the other to bottle this guy. When it matters most. 14-14 is the round score, but this guy's playing like he's in a scrim.
And that's what you need. That mentality is exactly what Boom need. She's with one. Can OpTic salvage this in a similar way as Boom did prior?
Doors being closed, opened.
No way.
This way, that way.
No way.
And it's absolutely everything to dash around the side. Berserk, no, it's a trade. Oh, the whiff from Victor. He should have been able to grab 2, surely there. Just 2 players left for OpTic. And it is a sideline lockdown. Crashies is a maniac like this. Yeah, you're not even ready to collect the kills if he fell, but it doesn't matter because 4 in the round.
Down like this, surely.
I mean, it's a heartbreaker. And this time you're seeing Hall's aggression pressure. The suppression has to be the trade, and it is there. Yeah, he couldn't vacate the premises. Dash over the top. Taking control now, top yellow. Where's the rest of his team to support? There is the trade online, but the kills are even across the board, and they did not expect that late backstab from Famous.
Spike planted.
The trades have been good here, and Victor's cloudburst, and Famous hears it. He just rendezvoused back in time to be able to deal with the flank.
You've got to be kidding me.
And it's all down to Crashies. He worked magic in the previous round, but Blaze King's watching for it this time.
Actually, Josh, I do believe you.
Yeah, he's doing incredibly here.
He's doing the most.
Can he get another big round out?
Just pure spam. Unloading the ammunition. Through it as Fibers. Oh, it's too much damage. I think Victor just walked into the snakebite. He was vulnerable up.
This is one of the first times that FNS has used his orb like that as well. Usually it goes down on double doors to stop the push. So I think that just became too obvious.
Look at these flanks.
They're so fast.
They're so fast to take this space now. Working their way through. And look at that. The drone cuts up one of the crosshair placements, but Marv was ready and waiting. He knew. Famous are going to come swinging through, but already the spike is down and pressure is being applied, but the Boom players are dealing with it.
And it's all down to Crashies again. He was in a 1v3 before, now it's a 1v4, and it's not going to be enough.
It is that early take of mid-control, and it looks like they are gearing their way up. And it's a pre-fire spam, just why not?
Why is Victor not watching?
I mean, an extra element, Victor, you need to turn around here.
He's done a great job, though.
Smokes at his feet, he's going to be surviving for about a moment, Marved! Shots being whiffed, a bit of missing, going around all over the bloody shop, but still Berserk. Okay, Deals with the one, but only 2 players left standing now for Boom. Shotgun's being sent into the back of the site. Narrowly evading it, and with that recon Darkness supplemented to help him out, it's all now down to Blaze King. The tip-tap of the rifle, but it wasn't even...
He was trying to hold Marv's back and expecting that to be an A split, when in fact, all of it.
It's going to be going to the back of A. That drone does get the tag information gathered now. They know that the players are there, and that's a bit of spam. Help supplementing it.
Difficult for OpTic. In these rounds where Victor dies early, it feels like OpTic are really lacking the entry ability, but Marv's given them one.
The trade is there from Berserk, though.
It's the same thing again.
All over the bloody place, man.
It's the same thing again. Flip side of pushing out through cave, and FNS doesn't realize how deep he's gotten. The crosshair placement not quite right, and it's crashies again in a 1v4. I'm stuck in a time loop.
Yeah, it's just the same over and over and over again. At some point, something's got to give.
Something has to give here, Bren.
Well, a little bit of crashies with 30 seconds. Spike in his back pocket, flash over the top, knows the positioning. Bottle's ready to play off of it though. Great timing with the swing, and that is going to be decided to take things a bit more slowly once more.
It's a double up defense, and Ye's going to be the first one that they meet.
Oh, he's watching his angle. He's going to look downwards. That's a cloudburst though to cut off that one angle. He has to play into the corner. You can see the anti-flash. His back.
And he's just
the
suppressed
onslaught of all these players that are coming their way. This time though, Boom are dealing with it. There will be no crashes to anchor. Berserk's leading the charge for the rest of his team. But still, Victor, operator with the wall going down. He's given a clear sight line to take that shot. Dashes forwards. Breaking positioning, even just pre-firing a bit of spam with the right click. One after the other, but finally, it is Boom who take map #1 in this series.
It was a long time coming.